You've been in the hockey world for a long time in a number of various roles. When you were interim coach of the Wolverines, you were quoted in the media as saying, "I feel like if I coach for 20 or 30 years, I'll look back and say I probably learned the most this year because my eyes and ears were open to take it in. And it was probably the hardest coaching year of my life." What did you learn in this year, and what challenges did you face?
My heart's like going like this, just thinking all this stuff. But it's, I would say a lot of the things that were out of our control. We had an equipment manager of 30 years pass away in the middle of the season, and addressing that. The injuries and illness, injuries that happen to every coach, but the illness with the adenovirus and 5 guys in the hospital and 1 on ICU, and not knowing if it was, hearing that it might have been bacterial meningitis and the school may be shut down or the team's going to be shut down, and everything that goes to your head. Everything that we went through, like we had a great group of people around us, an even better group of kids. So you're just trying to problem solve, like whenever something comes up, just figuring it out. But everything that we went through this year, for me, everything's new. Hockey's hockey, and I don't want to say it's easy, but that was the easier part of it. It's just, there's no routine for me. It's a brand new routine. You talk to compliance or development or admissions, every question is new. So it wasn't that everything was a problem, but we had to find solutions for everything that we were doing, and we're doing it for the first time. So in that same media article where I got interviewed, I made a comment that, like you're trying to figure it out for the first time, but like you've got to fail to figure it out. So as we're going through our process, if someone had coached for 10, 20, 30 years, they've had these experiences, they've struggled in the past, so they find ways to figure it out and problem solve, and we had to do that for the first time. So
you had a steep learning curve, but you had a team around you to help support you in that role. So you were a player at Michigan under the legendary coach Red Berenson, a coach who had significant and long-standing success on the ice, and now you're on the other side of the bench. What is different about effective coaching and motivating college athletes today, and how's this time period different than when you were an athlete? For coaches and players.
I would say with all this stuff, like I definitely don't have it all figured out. I'm not perfect, but like I said, we're finding solutions along the way. Coach Berenson's a legend, and he's the guy that even now he walks in the room and you sit up a little taller, you've got your stuff together, but he just demanded respect. He never yelled. He was great at that. When he said things, you knew what he meant. And he didn't have to use long paragraphs or sentences. He'd say a couple words to you, and you knew exactly where you stood. I think nowadays, kids, myself, people need to understand why. I think that's what this conference is about. I think coaches, like Red was positive. We're trying to be positive with these kids. I think the first thing that you do is you have to gain their trust. For me, I've got a passion for the development side and the mentorship side of it. So getting to know what they're about, understanding what's important to them, where they're at in their lives, off the ice, on the ice, where they may fit on the team, and that may change day to day or month to month. But gaining their trust first so that you can support them in the future. And I just did that through video and tactic stuff, skill stuff, just to have some commonality, and then you just take it from there. But understanding where they're at is the biggest thing.